Observe the videos. What is the source of energy used to power the vehicles? What is the source of energy used for cooking? Petrol is used as a source of energy for the vehicles. Natural gas is used for cooking purposes. These compounds are derived from hydrocarbons. Do you know what hydrocarbons are? Let us find out. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to state what hydrocarbons are. List sources of hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons are organic compounds which consist of carbon and hydrogen atoms. The carbon and hydrogen atoms are held together by covalent bonds. An example of hydrocarbon is methane, CH4. A methane molecule consists of one carbon atom with 4 hydrogen atoms held to it. Do you know of any other examples of hydrocarbons? Some other examples of hydrocarbons are ethane, ethene, and acetylene. There are 2 types of hydrocarbons, namely saturated hydrocarbons and unsaturated hydrocarbons. Saturated hydrocarbons are hydrocarbons which contain a single covalent bond. Unsaturated hydrocarbons are hydrocarbons which contain double or triple covalent bonds. Alkanes are the series of hydrocarbons which belong to saturated hydrocarbons. Examples of alkanes are methane and ethane. Alkenes and alkynes are series of hydrocarbons which belong to unsaturated hydrocarbons. Alkenes may contain one or more double covalent bonds in their molecules. Ethene is one example of alkenes. Alkynes, such as acetylene, comprise of a triple covalent bond. Observe the pictures given. Can you list the natural sources of hydrocarbons? Natural sources of hydrocarbons are petroleum, natural gas, and coal. The combustion of these fossil fuels has become a primary source of energy. How do we obtain these fossil fuels? The fossil fuels can be extracted from the Earth's crust. Click on each picture to know more about the sources of hydrocarbons. Petroleum is a black viscous fluid and is found trapped between 2 layers of impervious rocks. Petroleum consists of several hydrocarbon compounds. How was petroleum formed? Petroleum was formed from the fossils of marine plants and animals. These fossils were buried on the seabed under many layers of silt and sand over millions of years. These organic compounds were then changed into kerogen by the high pressure and temperature. Then, the high pressure and temperature continue to slowly change the kerogen into petroleum. How is the petroleum extracted from the Earth's crust? Petroleum can be extracted from oil wells by drilling. The extracted petroleum is transported through pipelines or tankers to refineries. The refining of petroleum can be done through fractional distillation. This method is used because each petroleum fraction has a different boiling point. Click on the picture to view how the hydrocarbons are separated from petroleum. Petroleum is heated in the furnace. Petroleum vapor is channeled into the bottom part of a fractional distillation column that is segmented with trays or plates. When the vapor rises, cooling occurs. It will condense to form a liquid. The petroleum fraction, which has the lowest boiling point, will condense and separate at the upper part of the column. Fractions with highest boiling point will condense and separate at the lower part of the column. Products of the distillation process can be used for various purposes, such as fuels for vehicles and as cooking gas. Natural gas is a mixture of hydrocarbons. How do we obtain natural gas? Natural gas is often found in the seabed. It forms over the petroleum because natural gas is less dense than petroleum. Natural gas is extracted from underground reservoirs. It is pumped up to the surface through gas wells. Pure natural gas contains from 80 to 90% of methane, along with ethane, butane, and propane. The purified natural gas is compressed and then supplied through pipelines and cylinders to consumers. Coal is a combustible black or brownish-black sedimentary rock. How was coal formed? Coal was formed from the remains of plants and trees found in marshy areas. The remains were buried in the soil under high pressure and heat. After millions of years, these dead organisms slowly change into coal. Coal trapped in the Earth's crust is extracted through mining processes. Coal is mainly used as a fuel to generate electricity. Look at these pictures. Hydrocarbons are organic compounds that contain carbon and hydrogen atoms. There are two types of hydrocarbons. They are saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons. In saturated hydrocarbons, the carbon atoms are linked together by a single covalent bond. In unsaturated hydrocarbons, the carbon atoms are linked together by a double or triple covalent bonds. The natural sources of hydrocarbons are petroleum, natural gas and coal. These are known as fossil fuels. Fossil fuels originated from living things which died and were buried millions of years ago. The actions of high pressure and heat have slowly changed the organic materials into fossil fuels. The main sources of hydrocarbons are petroleum, natural gas, and coal. Identify the products obtained from these sources besides fuels. Find out the uses of these products in our daily lives. You can refer to books, magazines, or the Internet. You can also visit the Petroscience in KLCC to see many exhibitions on hydrocarbons, especially petroleum. Present your findings to the class.